HSBC presents CNBC TV 18's Future Female Forward, the Women's Collective, powered by Parity.
Hello and welcome to our very special edition of Future Female Forward, the Women's Collective. We are in Nagpur in Maharashtra, a state known for its economic prowess, making strong strides in various industries and sectors. Speaking of development, while the state government has launched many initiatives to empower women and to encourage participation in the workforce, women leaders in the state's industrial, corporate, IT, startup and the entertainment sector have been exceptional in reshaping its growth trajectory. Nagpur, a city in the heart of Maharashtra, is becoming a symbol of progress in the tech industry, especially when it comes to the city's approach to gender parity. In fact, according to some recent studies, employment opportunities in the tech industry is gradually narrowing. And leading from the front in making this change possible, it's HCL Tech that is taking significant steps to embrace gender diversity. Today, we take you inside this dynamic tech hub to explore ways how they are leading in promoting gender parity. And that's not all. Fasten your seatbelt and get up as we bring you inspiring stories that have so far been confided within the boundaries of this tech hub. Take a look.
I started my career with a major IT giant, global MNC. I was campus placed there and I was pretty much flourishing in my career, doing good. But as life progressed, things changed and I got married to a gentleman who was posted in Chandrapur in Maharashtra. So after getting married, I also moved and relocated to Chandrapur. However, on career front, I was still struggling to find a job, especially an IT job, because I was looking for a dynamic and ever-changing environment, which is there in IT. While all this while, by God's grace, my family also started growing. And then, I don't know, I was also praying all this while that something good happens. So when I guess a prayer got answered and my husband's job location changed to Nagpur. So one fine day I was just scrolling through LinkedIn and on LinkedIn I saw an ad, a recruitment drive at HCL Tech Nagpur. Now that was a game changer altogether. I was like, okay, something is coming up. And I applied there. I posted my resume. The HRs who were very cooperative at HCL Tech, they contacted me and from there on they offered me a job role where I landed up again in IT, back to the mainstream, where I could sense, I could envisage that yeah, I am going to progress again in IT. I'm going to make it big in IT once again.
I started my career with HCL Tech Nagpur 2 years ago as a fresher. Being a computer science engineer, I was looking for multiple job options. But due to the pandemic outburst and being an only child, my parents were hesitant to send me to a different city. That's when HCL Tech knocked on my doors. And being in a Tier 2 city, getting an opportunity from an MNC, I happily grabbed the offer.
जब उसका कॉलेज एजुकेशन खत्म हो रहा था, तभी लास्ट ईयर में उसके कैंपस सिलेक्शन इंटरव्यूज हो रहे थे। तब उसमें कुछ जगह, एक दो जगह सिलेक्शन भी हो रहा था। तब मन में आ रहा था कि अब बच्ची अपने से थोड़ा सा दूर जाएगी, बड़े सिटी में जाए, क्योंकि उसको उसकी ख्वाहिशें पूरी करनी है, उसमें बहुत सारे क्वालिटीज है। उतने में ही एकदम से HCL टेक का ऑफर आया और हम बहुत खुश हुए, क्योंकि अभी पर लड़की अपनी अकेली है ना, हमें तो ऐसा लग रहा था कि चलो मेरी तो इच्छा पूरी हो रही।
लड़की का ग्रोथ देखते हैं 2 साल हो गए, कंप्लीट हो गए 2 साल यहाँ पे। अभी उसको ही कंटिन्यू करना है यहीं पे, और हम खुशी है कि हमारी अकेली लड़की होने की और हमारे साथ में है।
Well, I am born and brought up in Nagpur. I'm native from Nagpur. So I was aspiring for higher role and opportunities during 2018 when HCL Tech came to Nagpur. At that time, this was the largest multinational organization to come to Nagpur. It had already started creating thousands of job opportunities for the youth in this tier 2 city. And I too dreamt of being a part of it someday without wanting to relocate out of my hometown to pursue my career aspirations. And I was married and I had both my families staying here in Nagpur. So who would not like to be a part of such a multinational organization in its own hometown?
It just so happened that I found out that we had a very specific requirement for a resource in our HR team where they needed someone who was proficient in working with a very niche set of skills which are not easy to find in a small town like Nagpur. So I went ahead and I recommended her as a candidate for our HR team, and it just so happens that everything went through well. She cleared all the interviews and she was selected. And of course we were happy that we would get a little bit more time that we would be able to spend together instead of hustling 2 different time zones.
Now we have a platform in HCL Tech Nagpur where we create an women employees group and allow them to sit with senior leaders where they can share their experience stories and learn from the senior leaders and aspire for becoming good leaders.
So New Vista's program coming to smaller cities like Nagpur, like Madurai, like Vijayawada, Lucknow and all those places, it is providing an opportunity to local people, to local folks to get into the mainstream of work, to get a global exposure. I think cities, smaller cities are now becoming like a global village.
I do believe that the New Vistas initiative is not only providing employment opportunities for the locals in this tier 2 city, but is also positioning these cities better at a national level in terms of infrastructure and other benefits.
We make them to speak with the right leader who can actually guide them and give them a kind of work-life balance where they don't have to keep inside of their skills. They can take it out, and through that way, it actually has enhanced the women. They have a strong relationship built within their family and friends together.
When it comes to gender parity, I have not noticed any biasness happening within the organization. We all get equal opportunities, and based on our competencies, we get to work in our certain roles. Being from a tier 2 city, getting such exposure, getting to work in a prime MNC where there are multiple projects and multiple opportunities, especially for women. There is no such thing like, how can she do it? But they look for, she will do it and she may do it.
I have observed in the hiring process that people, those who have moved out of their hometown and relocated to prime cities to pursue their career aspirations, are now willing to coming back home and stay rooted with their families.
While these stories are truly enthralling and moving, let's now know about the leaders behind this big change. There's lots more coming up. Stay tuned.
HSBC presents CNBC TV 18's Future Female Forward, the Women's Collective, powered by Parity.